All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry to get to my homepage there. Welcome to the Power Hour. For those of you that don't usually join me, such as Mexican Charlie Lee, man, you're quick to jump on there, buddy. Nice to see you again. Yeah. What's up, Mike? Good morning. I'd like to thank Casey for suggesting that we do a extreme stream Power Hour. So for those of you that don't know, we do this every single day at this hour. We go over the market for an hour at 9 o'clock in the morning, Arizona time. And I don't know, some of us, I guess, considering this a little bit of a victory lap. I almost consider it a victory lap. We've been watching the market, like I said, every day for the past 2 years now, and trying to catch, turnarounds and bottoms. And this turnaround has been long in the making. I will say that. So, hey, what's up, Casey? It's Casey's original idea to do the live stream, extreme stream for the Power Hour. So everyone thank Casey. Yeah, so to give you guys a little bit of history that don't join us in the Power Hour ever. Um, so we've been tracking this inverted head and shoulders. We really started tracking it since over here. It was actually member suggestion. I didn't quite catch on to it early enough. I forget who suggested it. And then we started looking at potential areas for a shoulder, and we actually came up with this line right here. Then we started dropping, and we started noticing a bottom candle forming. So we actually said, okay, well, we could bottom here, respecting some of these wicks, and that's actually exactly what happened. We ended up with a trend line across here for potential buys. Right there, a lot of us covered shorts down underneath this trend line. Some of us went long, some of us didn't. It's hard to know exactly what's going to happen. So then we rallied up here, and then we just started stair-stepping higher and higher and higher. And, inverted head and shoulders. Dotted line is our neckline. We have our target for the head and shoulders, which is up here at about the 89, almost 9,000 level. And so we're getting there. I consider anything northwards of 80% of these targets a hit. Kind of hard to get exactly 80%, but so that would be a hit right there. This would be a hit on this particular inverted head and shoulders. So, oh, there you go, Crypto Trailer. I see you, buddy. What's up, Ted? Everyone say hi to Ted. So, all right, yeah. So we bounced up. I mean, it was pretty choppy. This wasn't a straightforward move by any stretch of the imagination. We talked a little bit about possible failure over here. And then we came back and rallied off of the neckline, kind of a pullback. And then we went on to form this cup and handle and had a couple of alerts over here, 8208, 8293. And then off to the races we go. Great volumes in Bitcoin on the 2-hour. Let's go out to the daily chart. So extended volume on the daily. Casey yesterday was talking about an ascending triangle right here. We broke out from that. That's good breakout volume, and we still have 8 hours left in the day. So this could continue. And this is the first time we've been above this trend line ever, sustainably. We wicked up above there a while back here in October, and that was about it. So other than that, we've been pretty much stuck in a downtrend. So here we are potentially changing market cycles. It seems likely that we will actually change cycles. I can't say it's going to be a straight shot up, though. We have been talking about resistance here at the 200 daily moving average, which is coming up here, very shortly, about the 9,000 level, which happens to coincide with our target for that inverted head and shoulders right there. Yeah, Ted, I don't think that's a cup and handle, my friend. I really don't think it's a cup and handle. Cup and handles have to have a prior uptrend by definition, and so it's not really cup and handle. It's it inverted head and shoulders breakout in my, for my estimation, but a cup and handle has to have an uptrend. Otherwise, what's up, Cheyenne? Otherwise, I don't think it's actually a cup and handle. So, all right, so that's pretty good right there. I mean, good on the market, good on the breakout on Bitcoin, but really Bitcoin's not even the major story here. I know a lot of people are doing that, but for the past couple of days, really week or so plus now, if you've been noticing, the market has been getting a little more bullish. It's been giving you signs of a bigger breakout. It's been giving you signs of a bigger move. And if you're listening, then you can hear those signs. And we were, all over all these top coins today. I hope all you guys got them. We were all over them. Dash looks like pulling back a little bit right now, but Dash was on fire. We had this also in inverted head and shoulders. This, I say, was probably our biggest get in the market because Dash was just garbage. Dash was horrible, horrible garbage. And, I mean, pretty obvious inverted head and shoulders. Let's go down to the 2-hour chart, which is what we usually look at every day during the show here. You know what? I'm gonna do our normal power hour routine here. So Bitcoin, let's go down. Let's do a walk down. We'll do our top 20 walk down as we usually do. Ethereum going on with the rest of the market, not as frothy as most of them though, only up 7%. You can see here we've got, looks like a trend line right here, which I kind of may have missed that one, but we had other fish we were frying yesterday, but still a cup and handle. We noted the other day everything had this cup and handle. Pretty much everything had it, and almost everything broke out at the same time. ETH only up about 7.4%. A lot of coins up a lot more than that, so I can't say that it's bad that you missed Ethereum. We had a lot bigger fish to fry that did a lot better than Ethereum. XRP, we talked about this, kind of a weird 2142 was our alert level going way back a couple of days now, but that one broke out as well. Not necessarily that great of a move either, only about 5% less than Ethereum, so can't be mad missing XRP. Litecoin was on our radar. We had a 5140 alert level. This one did pretty good. Yeah, it actually bounced pretty well, supported the 50 period moving average right there. Excuse me. Supported the 50 period moving average, rallying through 51.4, doing fine. Good in the uptrend. If we go to the daily chart on Litecoin, let's see if we rallied through here. Yeah, definitely broke this trend line. We talked about that a long time ago, breaking that, tested it, and then just moving straight out. Volume definitely getting better here. So Litecoin is probably one of those coins where if we get a nice consolidation, you would consider probably taking maybe even an early position in that. Right now, everything's a little bit extended up. I wouldn't be entering positions at this stage of the game. I would just be, just kind of waiting for the market to calm down a little bit. It got pretty frothy yesterday, and then in the overnight session as well. We have noted lately a lot of times we've caught moves during the power hour, either the beginning of the move or the end of the move, and this kind of looks like it's the end of the move. So we could be going for a pause here in the market. Generally, Bitcoin just coming down a couple percent right now. High volume wick right there. Again, like I talked about, that target loosely being hit, not exactly, but I consider within 80% of that a hit. And we're in that range right now. So you could be looking at profit taking. If you want to hold these for longer swing trades, I'm not mad at that either. I think that's fine. If you want to do that, no problems there. I think your stopping point down here would probably be around the 8,000 level. Hopefully we don't get back down there. This is some really good volume coming out of here. So ideally that will be able to sustain us. We're seeing lack of selling volume. The volume aggregation tool got pretty bullish. Some selling stepping in there. I think that second biggest candle here was some stalling, which it was, but we never went lower, so nothing burger there. Maintaining those levels and then going higher. So yeah, so far so good. All right, Litecoin right here, 51.4. We broke out of that. Doing good there. Bitcoin Cash on fire. We had this yesterday at a 269.82 alert, and that's just not non-stop on Bitcoin Cash. We've been really following Bitcoin Cash very nicely on the way up and out of this. From these ultimate lows, Bitcoin Cash, a huge move, massive volume candle. That could be a topping candle for Bitcoin Cash. It's by far the largest candle, by far the largest volume candle on this 2-hour chart. So, and you can see we've already pulled back quite a significant amount so far. Not a new low yet on the chart, but we could end up in a situation where we just ideally put in a larger base, but that is a very, very large candle. Let's go to the daily chart, take a look at Bitcoin Cash. Still a lot of room to go to the upside. Best case situation here is likely for us to consolidate and then probably continue going on higher. 200 period moving average was been blown apart by that candle right there. So worst case scenario obviously is a complete retracement back down into the 269 level. That would not be good. So taking some profits up here. I'm not too mad at that if you want to do that. Take some profits. Let's see about the 15-minute. Aggregation tool, pretty bullish. Seller stepping up though in this last candle, but you can see there's some support there as well, so that's not bad. Yeah, Bitcoin Cash. So let's let this consolidate a little bit. As it gets a little bit higher here, you may have another attempt at highs. Again, I think a little bit of profit taking is warranted, but the way the market is right now, and it's a little long in the tooth. We've already had a couple of bases here. let's zoom all the way out here. We had this low base in the breakout from here, consolidation, base, base, and a huge run up. So that could be your topping behavior out of a few good bases right there. Again, some profits are warranted if you want to hold it for a little bit longer to give it some more room. I'm not mad at that either, really, at this stage. EOS rallying higher. Really hasn't been a great one. Good ups today, though, 8.6%. Really has not had a pullback. It's just been kind of nonstop little choppy up moves and then in spurts higher. The pullbacks have been getting smaller, though. So that's pretty good for EOS. Inverted head and shoulders here. That was our neckline breakout. That's really been the best play here. Been hard to get into it other than that. This little thing the past couple of days, I'm not even sure what to call it. The move I guess it's had hasn't rallied up through there. Okay. Sorry, just checking stuff. The last one still lost signal, so. All right, so let's get through here. BNB is next. We've got, yeah, not a very good move for BNB either. Only up about 5%. 86 for BSV. Holy crap. That just rallied a bunch more. Wow. That was not up 86 last time I looked at it. That is a great move for BSV. Holy crap. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. How many people are in the power hour? I don't want to give it exact numbers, but I've got a large contingent of people. During the live power hour, it's dwindled down a little bit. A lot of people are kind of fed up with the bear market, but I think we're moving out of that. So I probably got about 80 or 90 people in the show, and then we get varying numbers of people during the actual stream itself. A lot of action happens in Slack, though. That's where a lot of action happens. But and then what do I mean by mad at? Mad at means that I'm not mad at it. Like if I'm mad at something, I don't like it. If I'm not mad at it, then I do like it. So it's like varying degrees of good, if you will. It's like varying degrees of good. You know, mad at it means that I'm willing to look at it for a little bit longer. So BSV here, 88%. That's crazy. Talk about a topping candle right there. That looks like a topping candle. Let's go to the daily chart on BSV. Breaking out into new highs for BSV. We talked about this yesterday. Didn't think we'd get it today about us breaking out there. That is an excessive move for BSV. And we talked yesterday, if you guys remember, talked about it on Dash actually. So I guess maybe I'll touch on that when we get to Dash. But don't let your biases in the market influence what the chart is telling you. You know, the market has had a pretty good rally in a lot of the names that we were following, and you know, some names seemed extended. Well, they seem really extended today, and that's what you want. You want to be in these really extended situations. Why the hell else are you in crypto? No one's in crypto for 3 to 5% moves. You're in cryptos for days like this. So be happy that you have days like this. You know, and don't really look a gift horse in the mouth. Yesterday was a gift. Doesn't happen very often. It truly was a gift. Doesn't happen often at all in the markets. But you have to be here every day doing the work to really get the gift. Otherwise, if you're not doing the homework, you're not going to get the results. People think trading is a hobby. People think trading is something you can step into loosely and you can step into it loosely and you can make money and go about your business and then go live an Instagram lifestyle. That's not the case. The guys that are real traders, the guys that make money, grind it out every single day. When you're bored and garbage, they're bored and garbage, but they've learned to deal with it. You know, if you want to make the quote-unquote easy money, you've got to be here during the quote-unquote hard times because you're still sitting in front of the same screen, whether it's good or bad. It's just you're the point of change. The market remains constant. You are the point that changes. The market does what the market does. You're the variable. That's what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people think it's the market that's the variable. It's not. It's you. And so if you're not in this every day, if you're not putting in the work and noticing all the themes and noticing all the changes and stuff like that, and you're not going to get it right 100% of the time. Absolutely not. You're not going to get it right. But you have to stay consistent and keep improving incrementally, like everything in life, right? Why do you think you go to school for 4 years to get a degree? because it takes you 4 years to learn something. Your brain can only assimilate information at a certain pace. You can't get the knowledge of a trader with 20 years in 6 months. It's just not going to happen. It's just not. Sorry. You got to be here during the good times, during the bad times. Otherwise, you don't get Bitcoin Cash out of these lows. You don't get inverted head and shoulders. You don't get all that stuff because you're not here for that. You can't, what's the saying in one of those commercials? Like, it's like the lottery. You can't win if you don't play, right? You can't win if you're not here. That's the way it goes. So anyway, there's a nice little rant for you. How much book theory knowledge is required, Hamant? That's like a measurement type of a thing. All I'll say is that you have to get enough experience to enough things to know what works good for you. And then you have to experience enough of that to get good with that thing. What I mean by that is that there's guys, like you look at Silicone, I think his name is, that does Elliott waves on his thing, right? Well, I guarantee you, he looked at this and that and that and this in the market, found Elliott waves, found some things that worked for him, got good with that, and then that's what made him successful. There's other guys like me that do price action and price charts, found that, right? And that it takes time to find what you're good at, to find what suits you, and then it takes time to actually get good at that to the point where you can do it well, right? And there's other disciplines inside of trading. Trading is actually it's a multidisciplinary skill set is really what it is. It's not, if you're good at charts or you're good at this, then you're going to be good at the market. It's not that simple. It seems a little simplified because you're looking at the same thing every day. You're looking at the same chart. If all you did was trade Bitcoin, if all you did was go up here, and there's guys that do this, and God bless them, and they're really good at Bitcoin, If all you do is sit here and look at the Bitcoin chart and get good at Bitcoin, you can be fine, right? You're not. So days like today when you're up 6% and I'm up 20% because I'm in these other secondary names. Unfortunately, I'm not on Bitfinex, so BSV is that's where Bitfinex is. Otherwise, it'd be up a little bit more with BSV in my portfolio. But it is a multidisciplinary discipline. You can't just know one thing. You have to know multiple things. You have to know a little bit of general market theory, in my opinion. Unless you're a day trader, you're just trading a bunch of moving average signals. That's a different thing. But if you're going to swing trade or do something like that, it's a multiple disciplinary thing. So you have to understand that the market moves in cycles and kind of how that goes, right? And then you have to understand how to get in and out, when not to trade. You have to experience all of these, and that's where the time comes into play. So if those of you that have really been with me since 2017, you've been through the top, you've been through the extreme bear market, you've been through another uptrend, and now you've loosely been through another downtrend. Now we're going back into an uptrend. You've seen market cycles shift. You should really starting to get how this works. You're probably profitable, loosely profitable, breaking even at this stage of the game. It's a situation where you really have to assimilate and just dive in. You know what I mean? It's like if you want to be a professional anything, you can't just dip your toe in. You've got to go head first. And I'm going through that right now. I'm learning development because I've got an application called Trade Triggers that I'm developing, and I've had to dive in head first, which is really why I haven't been on YouTube that often, to be honest with you. I've had to dive into programming and try to learn that you have to dive in if you want to be good at something. So I've given up some of my YouTube presence to develop trade triggers, and I've had to dive in. I've had to put in the time, and I've put in, I don't know how many hundreds of hours this year. I don't know if it's thousands of hours. I haven't done the math, but I mean hours every day diving in, getting my ass handed to me. I'm sure a lot of you guys here are programmers, and it's not simple. It's not a simple job. Some people can jump right in and run with it. Other people, it takes years to learn the skill. And that's same with trading. It's the exact same with trading. Everything is a skill set. Everything has a learning curve to it. So it takes a while. All right, so let's get back with the analysis here. Hopefully that answers that question for you. Yeah. All right, so where were we at? We were at, we're walking down the top 20. So for those of you just joining the stream, this is an extreme stream, but a power hour version. And we have a routine we do in the power hour, and I'm going to continue with the routine. We go down the top 20 USD coins. We go down, I do a newsletter every day. We go down the newsletter coins, and we take questions and stuff like that as well. So, all right. We were at down to BNB, which wasn't doing very good. BNB, it was doing okay. We had a couple alert levels, but it really hasn't been performing very well. Very good volume stepping in here. The aggregation tool, a little choppy, look how oscillation. So the volume aggregation tool, for those of you that don't know, this is a tool that I developed that actually aggregates buying and buying pressure and selling pressure and kind of shows it to you on the chart here. It is not it's not a major indicator for me, but I do like to use it just to see where the pressures are coming in. It's not a 100% accurate tool, so I don't rely on this to trade, but I do like to revert back to it as part of my routine. I just kind of reference it. So, so the volume aggregation tool oscillating between bulls and bears here, and then getting pretty tight here as we get higher. This one is, though, loosely trying to cross a longer-term trend line. So you can see right there, I'm respecting these highs over here, giving up this one. 200 daily moving average is way up here. Long way to go up for BNB, but so far it doesn't have a lot of super bullish signals. The volume is a little bit tepid. The volume aggregation tool on the daily is looking pretty good, so maybe this will have a bigger turnaround. At this point, though, I think there's bigger fish to fry. BSV being one of them. Definitely don't be buying it here up 76%. I definitely never recommend that. I think you should be taking profits up here. So we had this one. We've had this one a couple times here during the past little bit. We were following it here on the way down, and then we had it here on this double bottom. I believe it was a double bottom. Not quite a double bottom. We had it here on the breakout, and then we had it here again at the 118.80, and then here again, the alert level doesn't show because TradingView likes to delete all my trend lines, but we had this here again yesterday during the show. 83% since our last breakout point there, and our 118.80 alert level, you could have held this the entire time from that alert level that we had been up 153%. So that's why you're in crypto. I mentioned earlier why you're not in crypto for 3%, you're in crypto for 100+% moves in a couple of days, and you just had that in BSV. All right, XLM, as we noted last few months, has been garbage and remains garbage. Tron trying to get over our 1485 alert level, did it, but not in great fashion, only at 5%, really nothing starter there for Tron. Same with Cardano. Cardano, for some reason, not in favor right now, so not doing much there. Atom bounced back from our 4.1, actually right between our two alert levels, 4123 and 4436. Right there, extend these out a little more. Come on. What the heck? What am I clicking? There we go. Okay, so bouncing between both extremes right there. I guess you could have bought the retest of the 123, but again, bigger fish to fry. That was not on the list. XMR we noted the other day with these major topping candles up here, and that has really put pressure on Monero, which you would think would have performed a little bit better, but not so much. Not so much. It has remained tepid and low. Dash, on the other hand, we were really on top of Dash really this whole entire time. Again, giving a little bit of context for those not involved in the power hour, we had our inverted head and shoulders down here. Had our very early alert on Dash, if you recall, at 41.44 on the break of the inverted head and shoulders. So what I try to do during the power hour is, again, we go over the charts every day. If we see a setup coming in like these inverted head and shoulders, I really try to find a way to get everybody in as low as we possibly can. And this was one of those levels, and this one just happened to work out beautifully. You never know it's going to go on a run like this when you're doing this. All you can do is take the trade and then see what the market gives you after that. And in this situation, 41.44 would have just been a godsend right there. So we actually had one here. We undercut that. And actually, we were live in the power hour, and I put this on live during the show, 41.44. We had 43.50. Then we had 53.76. Had an alert here at 57.91. So you can see the different alert levels as we move up the chart. So these are all valid alerts. I like to keep them on so we know where we've been from where we've gone. And really just goes to show that when you get these signals, these aren't arbitrary. These are up here for a reason. You're talking 95% gain in Dash from that very low entry. Now, Dash was hard to get into because if you guys remember, again, like I said earlier, if you're not in the markets every day, if you're not paying attention, you're not going to get these types of signals. And it's hard to get them. It's not that these are easy. This is actually difficult to get. But again, by paying attention every day, you know, we follow Dash all the way down every day. Every day we follow Dash, and there's some days I never mention it, but when we hawk on it, we hawk on it, and we hawk on it for a reason, because the charts are telling us that something is shifting, and this is what shifted in Dash. We went on to go do that. So, you know, you got to be here every day. You got to pay attention. 41.44, 43.50. Pick an entry. You didn't have to get in here. You could have got in here on the neckline breakout, right? With great volume. That's a change in behavior for Dash right there. Boom, extreme volumes right at the neckline. We had an early entry, but obviously there's no volume there. That's not a very clear entry. That would have been, you'd have had to take that a little bit on the faith of the chart pattern. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a really good thing, as a matter of fact. You get those great entries when you listen to the charts. There's no other way to do it, to my knowledge. If you guys know of a better way, let me know and I'll look into it. But other than listening to the charts, I don't know how to get that entry at 41.44. You don't get lower than that. The guys that bought down here created all of this. So unless you're in the same room trading with these guys, you don't get the entry below 41.44. Anyway, so on the way up, and then yeah, so now looks like we're falling off a little bit. 65.89, really no pullback at all. This is our first pullback. So up 35%. And our volumes are still manageable in this area. I think that's what's amazing about Dash. As horrible, and that's something else, if you guys remember that are in the Power Hour, we always say the coins that take the biggest shit end up pumping the most. And Dash is a great example of that. I would not touch Dash with a 50-foot pole any other time except for right here. You know, any other time. Once we started putting this top in here and started our way down, I think it was right here, I'm like, we could get an inverted head and shoulders out of Dash. And then we actually got it. And, you know, you have to, I don't know how else to put it. There's a lot of subconscious that goes into trading too. That's another thing with the time aspect I was talking to earlier. Your subconscious has to assimilate a lot. So, all right. Up here at this stage of the game, I think if you're a little patient with Dash, and I'm going to keep my position for a little bit here, this does not look like topping to me. This looks like just another potential consolidation. So if nothing else, we're probably going to have another attempt at a high, seeing as how we basically ran up here and haven't done anything since. Dash appears to still be under accumulation. Look at our volume aggregation tool. It's firmly green, and it's much greener than, I mean, we've been in a very long time. Let's go to the daily chart and see where we're at here. So good volumes here. You can see we're not super extended in terms of our volume. There's still a lot more on the table potentially here. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we're starting to maybe try to take out that trend line, which is pretty interesting on Bitfinex. And Binance doesn't have a lot of history there. Okay, so stalling, we're right now basically right at the 200 daily moving average. We stalled right at that trend line. I didn't have that drawn. I should have had that drawn. Yeah, that would have been a great profit right up there. That would have been a really good profit taking. So we'll probably get back up there at some point. The volume up here is definitely manageable. We're not over exerting ourselves pretty much on almost any time frame. I haven't gone to the 15-minute yet. Even that's loosely manageable volume right there. This is our first pullback. And we should have started off with that kind of a trend line. So that's our primary trend line on the 15-minute. And then our immediate trend line is this one, which has already been broken. So definitely consolidation ensuing. Volume aggregation tool getting red right there. So Dash, not bad, but definitely do another consolidation. Definitely do another consolidation. Link started getting going yesterday. We had a $2.23 alert level for Link. And for those of you, again, not in the Power Hour, yes, all of these we do have these alert levels. We have a Slack chat room that all these are live. So when one of these levels triggers off, you get a Slack alert. You can get it on your phone. You can get it on your desktop. Whatever device you have Slack on, you can get these alerts on. And each of these numbers are alerted. So you can thank Paul there for our alert system. Are you here, Paul? Thank Paul. Paul's awesome. All right, next up, but yeah, Link moving up pretty good. Let's go. So we had our early alert down here on Link at 184. We waited for this for a long time, if you remember. Then it broke up beautifully and then never stopped. We had a cup and handle here the other day, and then yesterday we mentioned the low that was being put in the 223 alert, and then it broke out from there. Definitely a large volume candle. That's really big. That could be the entire move. Unfortunately, I don't want to say that for Link, but it's possible that that's all we get. Best case scenario here, I think, is probably some more consolidation. Yeah, maybe get some consolidation up here, but too emotional. Well, if you got some emotions in trading, well, a couple of things. We got a guy in the power. I won't reveal his name. He's not here right now. Who says, like, I'm his gut check. You know, he'll wait for the power hour to make a move because not that he gets emotional, but he gets a little trigger happy. It's not really emotional. He just gets a little bit trigger happy. And he waits for the power hour, waits for confirmation, for second opinion. You know, we have the Slack chat room for a reason. You know, I'll say that. I'll show my website real quick. I've got the Slack chat room here. This is free. You don't have to pay for this. This is a community. I literally wanted to make a community, and I'm very fortunate to have found a pretty good community. There's some really good people in there. It's free. I don't spam you with emails. I've never actually sent an email out from this Slack chat room. Never once have I sent an email. I may actually send one now that we're changing market cycles. I like to send out valuable things. I'm not a spammer. I'm not a good marketer at all. Anyway, if you're too emotional, jump in the chat room and just talk to people about it. You know, if you want to run decisions if you want to run questions, ask me a question. I'll answer a question. I'm not a service Nazi like that in terms of the power hour. I answer questions in the Slack chat room when I'm around. But yeah, if you're emotional, get around other people, because I guarantee you, everyone else in that Slack chat room has the same emotions you have. They've just learned how to deal with them, and they've learned how to not act on them. Sometimes trading is not acting on your emotions, and trading is mostly about controlling your emotions. It's really what it is mostly about. All right, so Link here, 223 breakout. If you still have it, if you haven't taken profits up here, which is probably most people that have it, it's probably fine. Hopefully this isn't the whole move. Ideally, we can form a consolidation, keep higher lows, and then keep going higher. If you did get in at 223, you can probably keep your stop lower. I don't know if I'd move my stop up quite yet. Seeing as how tall this candle is, it could be one of those one and done situations we talk about. XRP, I'll look at it again for you real quick. I didn't do a lot with XRP because XRP, there's a lot bigger fish to fry in the market than XRP, at least according to my analysis here. We've got, you know, XRP's up 5%. That's going to be in the lower tier of the performing coins today. And yesterday, in the past months, we haven't really been looking at XRP that often. It's still in an uptrend with the rest of the market, but it's going to underperform. And for a number of reasons, it's going to underperform because it has trillions of supply. You know, XRP has a constant pressure being put on it by the Ripple company. So it's not that I don't like XRP. Actually, I definitely, look, I hugely respect what XRP has done. I don't think it's a Ponzi. I don't think it's garbage. I don't think it's blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's this or that. What I think it has a supply issue from a trading perspective. From a trading perspective, you have to understand what you're investing in. And XRP has a supply issue. XRP has a supply issue. So, yeah, I'm just going to refer you to the chart. You don't have to look at me. Let's look at charts. What do charts say? That's what charts say. So anyway, we can argue about this all day long. I'm not here to argue about that. Pretty much here to go through do the power hour thing, and you know, hey, someone just joined the Slack channel. Thank you very much for joining. Yeah, get in the Slack chat room, talk it out. I mean, if you want to go like really deep, join the power hour, dude. I'll talk with you for like the whole power hour. Not literally the whole power hour, but I mean, the power hour is what you guys make it. I'm just going to be honest with you. Hey, Stratwer, what's up, buddy? Where the hell you been? Don't come in here and say long time. I don't want to see that. Go back say hi in the Slack chat room, dude. Yeah, good seeing you again, though. Glad you're still here. But yeah, the power hour is what you make it. If you've got issues, if you've got things you want to talk through, join the power hour every single day, 7 days a week. You have me for an hour. So there you go. It's whatever you make it. Ask any question you want. Any question. If you want to learn about how to develop a trading strategy, we'll do that. If you want to learn how to manage your stop losses, we'll do that. We do lessons on the power hour every once in a while. It's not regimented or scheduled because it's every day an hour. It's a lot of content. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, XRP. It's not one that's been a favorite of ours for a long time. There's lack of accumulation down here generally, to be honest with you. Just not a lot of buzz. Look at the volume aggregation tool, firmly lower even on the daily chart. It's a non-starter for me. XRP's been a non-starter for a long time. We were looking at it. We've had alerts up here at 31 as it tried to get higher. I'm trying to find. Here we go. So this is our view on XRP. This is my view on XRP right here. Move to a new country, really? Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. Tell me about it in Slack. Tell me about it. So this is our view on XRP right here. I know it just looks like a bunch of lines, but let's take this out here for a second. So this is my view on XRP. We were looking at it up here as it was breaking out. So XRP, this is prior 2017. This is 2017 pump right here, and then ever since then it's been stuck in a large downtrend. The thing with XRP, and this is why you cannot hodl. You cannot hodl. You can hodl Bitcoin, but that's it. You don't hodl anything else. Nothing, because of stuff like this. How do I register? What does it called? What do you mean, Dream? The Slack chat room? Go to real-crypto.com. It's right here on the homepage. You don't even have to go anywhere. It's just right here. Yeah. You have to sign up. I do get your email address, but I've never sent out an email. But it's right here. Yeah. Come on, Dreamcar. You've heard about this. You've been here for a long time. I know you. Yeah, it's right here on the front homepage, real-crypto.com. It's right there on the homepage. But yeah, so with XRP, once it started undercutting these lows here, so we bounced up, we came down, we put in the low here with a lot of the market, but XRP never had a bounce with a higher high. You can see all these highs have always had lower highs. It's just in a downtrend. Do not invest in things that are in definitive downtrends. Just don't. I don't care how much you like them, how much your mom likes them, how much your neighbor likes them, how much Dreamcar likes them, how much Stratwer likes them, who else likes them. I don't give a shit. I don't care at all. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Now, if you say it's in a turnaround in a downtrend, we can have a different conversation, but don't do it. It's not a winning scenario. Why would you think about XRP? Think about this as a business, because trading is a business. You invest money, you expect a return. You can't invest in something going down in value. Okay, if you're how do I put this? Let's say you're a sports collector. Let's say you're a sports collector. Okay, you collect things, you buy stuff, you expect them to go up in value over time, and now let's say that we find out that a sports player. Like, remember the Kobe Bryant scandal back in the day, way back in the day, if you guys are even old enough to remember who Kobe Bryant is. I know a lot of you are young. Anyway, you're not going to invest in Kobe Bryant memorabilia when Kobe Bryant is in the middle of a scandal, okay? You're not going to. You may buy some of it cheaply because he's Kobe Bryant, but let's just say, okay, O.J. Simpson, maybe a better example, O.J. Simpson. You're not going to invest in O.J. Simpson memorabilia because it's in a tailspin. One day you're going to sell the autograph for $100, the next day 90, 80, 70. Why would you go pay $60 for an autograph you're going to sell for $40 in 3 weeks? It makes no sense. pick any business model you want to. Maybe that was a bad example, but you can't invest in things in perpetual downtrends, especially things taking out lows. Once this was like a very big red line in the sand for us. Ever since that line was crossed, XRP hasn't been the same. It had an opportunity to sustain lows, but it hasn't. It's actually continued going lower. Versus you take another asset like a Litecoin. Litecoin has a higher low. Has a higher low, right? So now granted, this sucked. Obviously this sucked. We never really jumped into Litecoin except for some small trades on the way down here. It would break one alert level and then would never break the second one. So what are you going to do? Not much. One and done. You maybe take an opportunity, but you don't hodl Litecoin from 85 or 120. Now you're at 51 and it looks buyable. That's a losing situation. So you never do that. Ever, ever, ever. If you're going to do that, spend the money and join the stupid power hour. So I have you never do that. And I can yell at you every day so you don't do stupid shit. Anyway. Okay. That's enough about that. All right, where were we at? We were at, I think we're at Link. We're almost at the bottom of the top 20 USD. Okay. So Dash with actually bouncing off of that trend line there pretty good right there. Link bouncing up there too. IOTA really's been a nothing burger for a long time. Yeah, I liked IOTA, man. I did good with IOTA. I liked the tech seemed good. Like I like the IoT thing, but it just, talk about a non-starter. This is a non-starter right here. Very, very lackadaisical. A little bit of accumulation signs here, but not enough to get very interesting. The market just isn't interested in it yet. Therefore, I'm not interested in it yet. John, we'll do that in a bit here. I'm almost done with the top 20 and the BLX or BQX. I'll do that in a minute. We got a couple left to go here. NEO also almost a nothing starter as well. Last alert we had on NEO was 9039, way down here. And we've been following it every day, and it has been chopping higher, but again, it's been a non-performer. Everything else has been performing better than NEO, so we've been invested elsewhere. Ethereum Classic, this was another one. My trend lines aren't on here, but we've been all over Ethereum Classic too. This has had massive extensive rallies. Yesterday we threw an alert here at 5.438. You can see right there we had the little flag, beautiful pattern, and then bust out of here. Ethereum Classic, oddly very bullish lately, and we've been all over this one too. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. If you didn't see Ethereum Classic, if you didn't see Dash, if you didn't see at least the second half of the Monero pump, the first one wasn't pop, but after 50, if you didn't see that, if you didn't see Bitcoin Cash setting up, if you didn't see those, you have to join the Power Hour. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to tell you. If you're not noticing those, you're not invested enough in the market. And I do the homework for you. I do the homework every day. You guys don't even have to do it. Just freaking watch the first half of the show and you'll get the top 20, and that's it. Or the newsletter. Just look at the newsletter. I can't even tell you how many newsletters have just been just fire. Just really good. Even coins that I hate, I put on the newsletter saying, I hate this coin, but the chart looks really good. Anyway, XTZ. This one actually broke out a little bit here. We had this channel, inverted head and shoulders. Didn't work out. That failed yesterday. I guess that could still be considered inverted head and shoulders, just with a much lower right shoulder. That would not be ideal. Neckline would still be right there, and the breakout loosely buyable, but no volume, and you can see coming back in. So yeah, XTZ really been a nothing starter since the downtrend. So it has been holding lows. Ideally, it may go back through, but I don't know. We'll see. You don't have projects that you do DCA on as investor like people do coins on XRP. Dollar cost averaging? No, that's fucking stupid. Sorry. It's my view on dollar cost averaging. Except for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the only one I believe you could probably, maybe Litecoin. There's very select coins you can you do not dollar cost average XRP. Absolutely not. XRP trades like a shit coin. It has the market cap of a top coin, but it trades like a shit coin. You can't do it. You can't dollar cost average XRP. You can dollar cost average Bitcoin. I think you can loosely do it with Ethereum. I think you can do it with Litecoin. Past that, it's very sketchy. It's very sketchy past those. Like those are the OG coins. We're not talking about we're not talking about stocks, Paul. Yeah. Dollar cost average TQQQ. Yeah, but in crypto, no. In crypto, you don't dollar cost average anything except for the very top coins. The very top coins. Adam Samp, hey, what's up, Samp? Yeah, we'll look at Adam for a little bit. So Adam, we're all over every coin. Sorry if I say that all the time, because we are. Been all over Adam. Adam has been, even through the chop, it's been a little difficult to hold, but I think we've managed it relatively well. Lately, I think probably would have broken even with actually trading it. So bigger picture on Adam, I think, is very important with Adam. If you take this into consideration, it's been in a very wide trend. You look at those levels. It's a very wide channel, and we've been playing in the middle of it for the past couple of months. It's been really hard to get a good beat on, and I think it's healthy overall, but I think it's going to be very choppy, and it's hard to trade this. You almost just have to hold it from these lower levels, like this 4,123. If you got it right there, I think that you can hold from there, or maybe even off if you were fortunate enough to get it lower. But that would have been hard to get involved in. But again, it's in terms of making money with it in the more immediate term, meaning not many months down the road. It's really not. 250. Oh yeah, you're fine. I think you're fine if you're in from way the hell down there. Yeah, if you got it over here, I think you're okay. Absolutely. Yeah, if that's 80%, you're good, dude. If it starts to break down, see the problem with Cosmos. Here's the problem with Cosmos. Is it really jumped on the scene? Its market cap is extremely high, and cryptos tend to, at least when you start getting higher, they live and die by their market cap. I don't know what drives that. It could just be general sentiment. I'm not 100% sure, but it tends to live and die by market cap. So Adam, it's sitting at number 16. It does have some room to go, 837. But now I talked about this a few public videos ago. I have to look it up. I don't remember which one, but I talked about, maybe it was Adam in the link, like the new leaders, that the Atoms, the Links, the coins that are doing. I don't remember what the hell Adam does, honestly, right now in the moment. But the identity coins, the data is the word I'm looking for. The data coins, the interoperability tokens. That was a huge theme a couple of months ago. Those massive, Link went from nothing to becoming top 20, right? All of those coins had a huge rally. The question is, and I haven't really put it this way before. So we know our top 3, our top 4, our top 5. Okay, it's going to go around between some of these top ones. Litecoin at some point may jump back up there. Who the hell knows? Maybe EOS will fire up its butt and start to jump. But past that, and so here you have your top, DApp platform. Half of the cryptocurrency world is probably based on Ethereum. Keep in mind the whole DApp ecosystem. A lot of it is based on Ethereum. So Ethereum is basically up here, and then you have all these other coins. The question is, where do these interoperability coins, which interop with Ethereum, I doubt they're not going to get up with Ethereum in terms of 16 billion market cap, but where are they going to fit? Where do they fit in this ecosystem of market cap? Where's their tier, in other words? Your top tier is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Your second tier is, the Bitcoin Cashes and all these derivatives and some of these transfer coins and these top ecosystems. And then so by rationale would say your third tier would be the interoperability tokens, because it seems highly unlikely that something that interops with Ethereum can be worth as much as Ethereum. That seems highly unlikely. It could happen, but not today. Like if they finally figure out scale and they figure out like massive transactions and actually what the hell they want to do with cryptocurrency, maybe at that stage. So, but you look at a Chainlink, you look at an Atom, and you have to wonder about how much are they actually going to be worth? Where are they going to fit on this stage? And so Atom at 834 million, could they be up in here towards the top 10? Yeah, but that's likely the ceiling. So your ceiling in Atom may be around this 10, 12, 13, 14 mark. So it may have a little bit of room to go. And keep in mind, it's coming down a little bit, right? It's come down a little bit. So it may have a little bit to go, but I don't know about that much further. Its runway may be limited. Its runway is going to be limited by whether the general market's pumping and what the market wants to do with its type of coin. So I know that's a weird long answer from a technical perspective, and this is what I mean by sometimes, and that whole general theory of what I just walked you through right there, that's done me very well in cryptocurrency in terms of trades and just calling the market and everything. Noticing sometimes I'm a little late to the theme moving up and down. I'm not like hawking every crypto chart in terms of, where it is in the market cap, but that general thinking, that applies to the stock market as well. That applies to any market where there's any kind of value attached. So, but I mean, it's fine. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's fairly stable, but I don't know if you're going to double again. I don't know if this thing can double. In the current market climate, you're going to have to see a much more bullish market climate where everything is inflating in prices. If everything is inflating, then everything's going to inflate. A rising tide lifts all ships. And so therefore, if the tide is rising, Atom's going to rise as well. I think that's the only circumstance where you get maybe another double out of Atom. If Atom doubles again, then there's something fundamentally happening with Atom that we just can't see and that we're missing. I don't know what it is. All right, so we were down with actually XTZ, and someone wanted to look at BQX. Oh, that's not big. I thought that was a Bitcoin. I thought it was BLX. That's what I thought it was. But yeah, we can look at BQX, John. Coinbase listing doesn't have a big effect anymore. Maybe it just changes in a bull market. No, the Coinbase listings don't have an effect. That's because there's not a lot of new money coming into crypto. I don't think, at least. I haven't seen any massive inflows of capital stepping into the markets. Let's take a look at what's going on right now. So let's go to the 2-hour chart. So we got Bitcoin, okay, bouncing off of its lows right there. That's pretty nice. Litecoin, 12% bouncing off of lows. You got BSV still up 88%. Man, that's FOMO. Talk about FOMO. No FOMO. You don't get a FOMO in the power hour. I'll beat that out of you. They used to call it no FOMO, no FUD time. But then I beat it out of them, and I don't think they do that anymore. Where's the other one I wanted to look at? Dash. Dash is one of our leading coins right now, so Dash is running up. Yeah, we talked about this yesterday, guys. We talked about this yesterday. The look for the leading coins to lead, right? Your Dash, your BSV, those were our leading coins. This wasn't a guess. Bitcoin Cash was loosely a leading coin. This wasn't this. If this was a surprise to you, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're not doing your homework. Do your damn homework. This should not have been a surprise. After all of this should not have been a surprise. You may not have believed it was going to happen, and we had that conversation yesterday about Dash specifically because we were all over. Dash was the biggest one we were over because it was the leader in the market. What does it mean that Bitcoin Cash and SV is leading? I don't know if it means anything, to be honest with you. I don't really know if it means anything. Both coins were extremely beaten down. The general thing, though, I think, is to notice the entire market is moving. It's not as good, probably, that Dash and BSV and Bitcoin Cash is leading, but and even Ethereum Classic. Those are almost outlier tokens, but I don't want to call them garbage tokens, to be honest with you, because who the hell knows what that even means? That's an opinion. Opinions don't really matter. And we've learned that with Ethereum Classic, which we thought Ethereum Classic died, but apparently, if you guys don't know, it's not dead. It actually is alive. It's a live network. So, you have to leave all those opinions at the door. I can't say what it means exactly. All I can tell you is that the market is moving out of lows. That's all I can tell you. And I think probably what it means is that there's some value probably in those coins. When you take a look at BSV being delisted from like 90% of all the exchanges, of all the valid exchanges, and pumping like this, I mean, people are missing it. They miss it. You know what I mean? They miss it. Oh yeah, yeah, you should have seen it. Absolutely, you should. Well, it's right here. I mean, let's just take BSV as an example. So BSV led. BSV was your first coin to break its declining trend line. Right here. I could, tell you to go watch the replays of the Power Hour. In real time, we're like, oh, this is the first one. We actually looked at all these declining trend lines. I don't remember exactly which day. BSV was the only one broken out. BSV was the only one that broke out of its declining trend line. It broke out of it first and early, very early. It was leading. And then it went on to have a beautiful rally and a gorgeous base here at 118.80 right there. And then look at the explosion. That is not a... here's a base just under the trend line. This is exactly what you want to see. These lines, I didn't draw these this morning. These have been here since I drew them. Sometimes I have to draw them multiple times because TradingView likes to frickin' delete all my stupid trend lines. And I go back to my newsletters and I say, oh, okay, I had a line there and I drew a line. Anyway, we were talking loosely about it down here, but not involved. Here I'm interested, though. Here I'm interested. I'm not saying I'm a genius and I called this bottom. I'm not saying that. But when it's obvious, it's obvious. And then what you do is your job. Your job is to see the setup and take the trade. That's your job. You don't know it's going to pump this much. I don't know it's going to pump this much. But your job is to wait for your setup and take your trade. That's your job, nothing else. You should be a freaking stupid robot that does exactly what you're supposed to do. That's what you should do. But no one does that. And that's why trading is difficult, because emotions are involved. And introducing trade triggers, which will remove all of that for you, but it's not ready yet, so I'm not going to talk about that. But yeah, so BSV right here, declining trend line. And I had this, I had this for you. If you choose not to take it, that's your problem. It's not mine. You know what I mean? Frustrated, did not choose to switch my XRP and BSV. Craig Wright warned for this. I feel like a big loser. Don't feel like a big loser. You should not feel like a big loser. Nor should you feel like a big winner if you make money. To be honest with you. You shouldn't feel like either. Your job is to notice setups and act on setups. That's your job. Nothing else. Your job isn't to listen to Craig Wright. Who the fuck's Craig Wright? He's some douchebag on Twitter. Yes, even if you lost over... Look, if you want to feel like a big loser for losing over $25,000, you have a couple of options. You have a couple of options, okay? Number one is you walk home with your tail between your legs and you can go cry. You can do that. That's an option. A lot of people have taken that option. People have jumped out of windows. I don't suggest that. Usually doesn't work out very well. Okay? I don't suggest that. What I suggest is that you learn your craft. What do you do for a living? Draw carries. I'm not quite sure what your name is. Sorry about that. But what do you do for a living? You had $25,000 to invest. You probably do okay. What do you do for a living? Or was that money you've saved over your entire lifetime? I had a gentleman, you're a software tester, so you probably make decent money if you're a good software engineer. I have a lot of good software engineers in the Power Hour. They make decent money. Okay, so like 25 grand, it sucks to lose. I've lost way over $25,000, and I probably don't make near as much money as you make, but I'm a stingy bastard, and I don't spend money at all. So I had money to lose at the time. I'm done losing money, fortunately. Okay, so learning software development, you paid a cost for that. Okay, I'm not sure if you went to school for that and actually have a software, have a degree in computer science or what, but you paid money for that. 25 grand is your tuition. It's called tuition in the trading industry. It has a term and it's for a reason. Because when you, again, like I mentioned a lot earlier, I'm not sure if you were here or not, but I said you can't jump into trading and expect to succeed immediately. Everyone thinks then you paid in time. You pay in something. You pay in something. Then you got lucky. If you learned on the job, you just got lucky then. Anyway, but yeah, you get my point. It's tuition. Okay, so you've lost 25 grand. So let me advise you this. Let me advise you this. If this is something you want to do, okay? Yeah, if trading is something you want to do, so this brings another point. People get into trading for different reasons. And I think you need to be honest about why you get into trading. And a lot of people aren't honest with themselves about this. Okay? So let's say you're just a normal guy that didn't go to school. Like me, I'm a normal guy. I didn't go to school, right? You got on-the-job training. I got on-the-job training in a different field, but I got on-the-job training, right? You want to make money from home. Okay, I get it. Cool. So there's a path for that. There's a path for that. It's not an easy path. It's not a path that you're going to like, to be honest with you. You're not going to like the path. You're just not. Okay? In this day and age, and I'm not saying this because I'm 40 years old and I'm an old man now. You kids, get off my lawn. I'm not saying that. I'm saying in the technological age that we live in, everybody wants to work from home. Everybody wants this. Everybody wants that. And they think they should have it now. And with trading being what it is in 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017 in crypto, everyone thinks that they can do all that thing. They can do that, and it's going to be short. It's not a short path. If you were born not in the 2000s, probably not even in I was born in 1979, so if you were born anytime post, I'll just say 1979, if you're under 40 years old, you have this ideal that you can do all this digital stuff and do it from home and it's going to be quick. It's not going to be quick. It's a long road. It's a very long road. If you want, see, here's the thing. Everybody wants, it used to be retirement. Now it's working from home. Everybody wants to do all these things. Either you're a software tester, you find a job, you can probably work from home remotely from some company. You can probably find another job and do that if you want to. But you used to have to, your goal used to be retirement. You know, your goal used to be retirement. Now it's working from home, and you used to have to work a long time to be retired. If you want to trade, if you want to change, retirement. You know, okay, let me walk you through some numbers here. Bitcoin run analysis. What do I got on the spreadsheet? Let's run some numbers here. And this goes for everybody wanting to do this. Let me burst your bubble right now. It's not going to happen. Okay? Be happy with your job. Make a shitload of money. This is what you're going to have to do. Okay, so if you're making, I don't know what you're making. I'm in Arizona. The median income for most of my life has been about $50,000 a year. Okay, you divide that by 12, right? So that's equal to this, divided by 12, $4,100 a month. Okay? If you want to retire, you need to make $4,100 a month. Loosely. Yeah, I am real, and I've been there. I've been doing this since I was like 18 years old. I've hit everything that you have wanted to do, have done, have thought about. I've done it. I have done it. And I've learned that my whole life I've said, I don't want to be the guy working a 9 to 5. I don't want to be that guy. I'm not that guy now, but it's taken me 17 years to get there. And not even necessarily in the linear fashion that I envisioned. You know what I mean? Anyway, so let's run this down. You want to make $4,100 a month. You want to make $4,100. What does that take? Okay, so let's say this. Let's say your bills. What are your bills? Let's say your bills are $3,000 a month. Okay, first of all, that's pretty skinny lifestyle. That's not doing a whole hell of a lot. $3,000 a month. You're not doing anything. So guess what? Okay, I want to work from home. I want to live from home. What do you do with that time? You're going to have extra time. What are you going to do with it? Well, if you're spending all your time making $3,000 a month, then what are you doing? You're working a freaking job. It's the same thing. You just have more risk now. You understand trading is risky, right? Trading is very risky. What you're doing is you're risking this $4,100 to make $4,100. What you're doing now in your job is you're risking your time, which doesn't actually cost you monetary value, to make $4,100, and you still have time left over to lose 25 grand. So I'd say you're doing pretty good. So what you should be doing is this. If you want to make 3 grand a month, no, you want to make 10 grand a month. If you're going to work from home, do it and do it big and do it right. Okay? You need to have a bigger goal. Your goal can't be working from home at your current status. If you hate your job, find a different job. If you hate your field of work, find a different field of work. But if you want to be a trader, understand the risks. The risks is that you don't get this next month. That's the risk. So here's what has to happen. If you want to trade from home, this is what you have to do. You have to consider your baseline expenses of life. Okay? I mean, just life, period. And that's going to be, so let's just say that's 5 grand a month for you, just for you. Okay? Keep in mind, yeah, let me finish this. So 5 grand a month. You need at least a year's worth of runway, right? So this is going to equal this times 12. You need a year's worth of runway. So you need $60,000 in the bank to pay your bills, just sitting there. This is banked. You can't trade this. Can't trade this. Okay? And then you have to have trading funds. And that's up to you however much that is. And then you have to, let's say you're trading, let's say it's your 25,000, let's say you had $30,000, say you had a few thousand left. Let's say you had 30 grand, okay? So now you have $100,000 saved, right? You got 100 grand. You're trading with 30% of it. You're not trading with 100,000. You can't do that. You can't do that. Everyone makes the same mistake of trading with the 100,000. You can't do that. Now the question is, can you make $4,100? Can you make 13% a month? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Can every single month remove from the market 13%? Whether Bitcoin's going up, whether Bitcoin's going down, whether the stock market's going up, whether the stock market's going down, through your mistakes. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot to do. Not many people can do it. Not many people, first of all, have the fortitude to save $100,000, right? That's a lot. I mean, to save 100 grand on a normal person's salary, I mean, that's very, very difficult. That's a decade plus. That may be 15 years unless you get side jobs and work your ass off, right? And then to actually make 13% a month in the stock market or the crypto market, whatever market you want to use, is difficult. That's very hard to do that. You just lost $25,000. That's very hard to do. So let me start out by saying, it's not going to happen, okay? You're not going to trade from home. You should enjoy learning the process of trading. It should be a journey. It should not be a destination. Trading is not a destination. Sometimes it just happens, and then you happen to be there. It's kind of like, journeying throughout the world and you happen to settle in a little village in France that you love. That's basically what most people's trading journeys are like. Some people reach the goal and that's their goal. Other people die on the sword, if you will. But again, 13,000 hard to do. So let's say that you want to make it 50,000. Okay, now you only need to make 8%, but now your bankroll is $110,000. So it's difficult to do. It's very, very difficult to do. No, they don't. They don't, because they just want you to sign up for their thing. That's all they care about. Speaking of which, sign up for my thing. So there's my thing. I do have a thing. It is a power hour. It's $65 a month, but it's a lot cheaper than $25,000. I mean, honestly. And I mean, everyone's shilling something. I'm not here. I am here for you. I wouldn't do this if I didn't actually give a shit, because I actually do. Talk to guys that have been with me for a while. I actually do care. I'm not a heartless bastard. I do care. But if trading is something you want to do, you need to just learn trading. You have to enjoy trading. You have to enjoy it. You have to, you have to, it's definitely better than a $2,000 trading course. Well, I priced it at $65, honestly, because I'm a friend of Node Investors. I knew the guy back there. He charges like $200 a month for his. And I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, no normal person's. So I did $65 a month because I'm like, that at least values my time reasonably, because it's an hour every day, 7 days a week. I'm here for you guys. And it's manageable for most people. If you can't afford $65 a month, you shouldn't be trading. If this scares you away, like seriously, if $65, and I'm not even saying that because it's my service, just anything in life. If investing $65 a month in your business, even if it's another service, doesn't have to be mine. If that scares you, you're in the wrong business. Seriously, you're not going to work out. It ain't going to work out. If that scares you, if you don't have a subscription to TradingView, if you don't have, your Bitcoin taxes, if you don't pay for these ancillary services, it's going to be very difficult to make money. It's going to be very, very difficult. Wow, 92. Look at that. Freaking things are on a roll. We're still going up. Yeah, buddy. What did you miss, Monkey Tron? You missed everything. I gave away the secret to trading, my friend. Could you elaborate on the FOMO I suffer now by selling my XRP yesterday? Just a tip. Yeah, ignore XRP. It's stupid. XRP is, yeah, I'm not super happy with it. That's a nice pump. I just started rallying right there. Look at that. Actually, now that I see it now, you get me talking about bigger topics, and I go chart blind for a little bit. There's a bit of an inverted head and shoulders right there, actually. This isn't a normal power hour. I was trying to keep it normal, but then I get guys like you pulling me in, getting me on my Randy rants, and then I can't do a normal power hour. Yeah, looking good, man. This rally continuing with XRP jumping off. That shows that the crap's coming in. That's good volume, too. Yeah. So when the market's running like this and you're not invested, it's very difficult emotionally. I definitely understand that. You have to realize this will happen again. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the next day, maybe not for a while, but these market situations happen from time to time. It only happens a couple times a year, but it will happen again, and you will forget about this. You will forget about it. Now, taking a big hit like that, you don't forget about that. That stays with you. That's devastating, okay? That is something that should change your behavior. That is something that should make you do something you don't want to do. That's what tuition is. Tuition in trading is giving you enough pressure where you do something you don't want to do. That is tuition. That is tuition. And it's the leverage against your own emotions that you need, that leverage over your emotion to do that. We never did get capitulation, Hamont, and we probably won't. It is what it is. Suresh says, can I leverage trade Litecoin on BitMEX? You can. I'm not sure about maybe Binance too. I don't know. Look at the exchange. I'm not sure what exchange you're on. Look at the exchange you're on. So, all right. So that was a very long way to talk about the top 20 coins. A couple of good things in the middle there as well. Let's talk about spreadsheet coins, which there's actually not a lot of spreadsheet coins today. For those of you not in the Power Hour, we maintain a spreadsheet of all the coins that we watch with all the buy points on them, as well as the Slack chat room, the alert system. Let me pull up my newsletter. Okay, let me pull up the newsletter. There's not a lot. A lot of it is really what we've gone over already. Let's take a look. Everything's deep in the red because Bitcoin's been on a rally, except for the things rallying with Bitcoin. That is generally more. They're staying with the high quality coins. They're not running these crap coins yet. Speaking of which, guys, keep in mind, we talked about coins running in sequence, right? Your leaders, your top coins, your secondary coins, your tertiary coins, and your garbage coins. We see no evidence of movement in the garbage coins. None today. We've been talking about that the past week or two. First up is Dash BTC. So Dash BTC, we had yesterday the alert at 81.52. Obviously, that went as well. Dash looking spectacular yesterday. Working spectacular doesn't always happen that way, but for sure, heck, it does today. Will I do more live? I don't know, Suresh. I'm still working on my application. So I'm unfortunately sacrificing a little bit of my public YouTube presence. As you've seen, I haven't really put out that many videos. Not because I've fallen off or have made bad calls or anything like that. Talk to my Power Hour members how my calls have been. I'd say they've been pretty good. I've been knee deep in software development when I'm not doing Power Hour. So probably not a tremendous amount of live streams. This one was actually requested by Casey, so go ahead and thank Casey. I think I said that early. So, go ahead and thank Casey for that. But probably not too many of these. Definitely not later in the day. Again, I'm just so focused on my application right now. And have been for about a year, which is my YouTube presence has dropped for about the past year. Yeah. Not that I'm a lot less active, but just doing that. All right, so Dash. Moving up, next up is DGD, which we've been following, and it's actually really close to Dash. What am I doing moving away? DGD actually moving up pretty nicely, guys. So we talked about DG in this big wide range right here. And moving up above our alert level of 2543, which is this green trend line right here. Moving up pretty nicely, actually sustaining itself above it, which I wasn't quite expecting. I put it here yesterday talking about not expecting it to move. Well, it did move, and again, go with the chart, not based off of what I say. And 2543, working okay. The market, I mean, it's really impressive. This is moving 4% versus Bitcoin when Bitcoin's moving 4%. So they're considering Digix DAO a quality asset. Quality asset. And next up is Go, which Go completely failed us. So here's a failure. Not everything's a success. So we had, oh, this is yesterday's newsletter. What the hell am I doing? I'm looking at yesterday's. I did it again, Monkey Tron. You can yell at me now. You can yell at me now. I did it again. That was yesterday's newsletter. This is today's newsletter. Dash, DGD was still on there. Lend was next, actually. Go failed us yesterday. Lend. Another coin we've been all over, Lend, on the way up here. If you guys didn't see Lend versus Bitcoin, we were a little late to this party, but still had some good moves in it. Lend, recently we had an alert at 261. We came back and retested the 261 alert level. This went up 15% while Bitcoin's up, what, 8%? Yeah, 8%. That is crazy. That's a big move for Lend. So Lend doing super good. Super good right here, holding relatively nicely. Could see some distribution. We don't see a lot of volume stepping into the new highs here, so that could lead to some not good stuff for Lend. We could end up pulling back due to that. We're not seeing a lot of support, or I should say follow through, not really support. We're not seeing a lot of follow through. Good volume coming into the highs, but not a lot of volume at the highs, which means we don't have distribution, nor do we have follow through. You need follow through in these situations. Could continue to chop around. So if you got back in on this pullback here, we talked yesterday about pulling back into 261. It did that on the overnight session. So if you were able to get that, I think you're fine holding down here, but I wouldn't get involved a little bit higher here. But it's looking well. We're going to keep an eye on it going forward as we usually do. And last it was XZC, which we had yesterday. I didn't highlight all of the other coins. So, but we highlighted XZC yesterday in a 4638 alert level in this cup and handle pattern. Worked out, I mean, just gangbuster. This thing just rallied straight on through. You could have had a lower alert if you, a little bit lower if you were hawking the charts, about 1.5%. But we hit that one on the head too. A little bit of stalling distribution action up here. Hit the target and exceeded it. So if you want to take profits on something like that, I won't be too mad at you. Good volume could be sustainable. You know, ideally, when you're in these situations with elevated volume, you want to think about trying to swing trade at least part of the position. Give it a chance to make you much more gains than normal. All right, so what's next? We got Zcash. Let's look at a couple other ones that are green here today. I'm going to sort this by percentage, and we can look through it by that. That's always fun to do. So let's go top down. We have Lend, which we already talked about, up pretty big today. Retested 261. Bitcoin Cash, obviously, being up huge today. XZC. I don't have BSV up here. Yeah, that would be up huge. I don't have a BSV BTC chart. And I'll get to some of your questions after I just go through some of these top coins here. Doesn't happen. Doesn't take very long. XZC, just talked about this one also. Pulling back a little bit, maybe find a lower risk entry point. Looks like I have quite a high volume candle here. You want to look for some bottoming signatures here. potentially. Ethereum Classic pop up there. Where was our alert for Ethereum Classic? I know we had one. 6167 was our last alert, so that was 6167. Way down there. I think that was on a trend line. Was that on a trend line break? I don't remember exactly. That's the last alert I have on the spreadsheet. BSV going crazy? 91. It's been crazy, Wave. It's straight up been crazy. Straight up been crazy. Yeah, Ethereum Classic. Anyway, our last alert was here. I don't remember under exactly which circumstance on the BTC chart. I've been following more on the dollar chart. Dash talked about this one already. 2 BTT USD moving up with the rest of the USD market. Pretty good right there. Part. This one not too bad. This one not too bad right there. We got this one actually not too bad. Declining volume here as we're going sideways. This one's actually, let's put an alert on particle. I'm going to put an alert on particle for, I actually don't even have it on here. Wow, that's rare. Very rare I don't have. That's how garbage this coin has been. Wow, if I don't have it on my spreadsheet and I follow it, this has been garbage for a long time. Pretty choppy garbage actually, but it's tightening up here a little bit. Could have a pop. You know, I don't know if I want to really jump into this, but it's the volume is very low. Yeah, volume is low. This one actually looking like it could be in a potential bottoming situation. See here, last time this had a nice run here. This ran 256%. Maybe it's hard to call that, to be honest with you, but RSI maybe testing that, then starting to rally through. Yeah, I don't know. We'll put an alert on particle. It's up to you guys if you want to take advantage of it, but you know, I'll move it a little bit higher, just up to that prior high, just for a confirmation of the breakout. 8993 for particle. That's funny. I realize a lot of you guys don't get to see me do this. It's kind of a shame. Do some good charting even in real time here. 8993. Okay, so that's now on the spreadsheet, so that'll get alerted on if that breaks. I could move that a little bit lower, right on top of the trend line here. Volume, I think, is your key here, and you're not that much farther out. That's still about 5%. That's a little bit. Yeah, this is interesting. This is actually, it's actually fairly interesting. I don't mind this setup at all. 8993 on particle. Glad we did this. All right, EOS breaking out pretty big. How's that? Is that doing good against dollar here now too? 16. Yeah, it did just rally. It did just rally. EOS with an extension. So again, I just mentioned this a little bit ago, guys. You're gonna see a flow from the leaders to the top coins, to the secondary, to the tertiary, to the garbage coins. So you're just seeing that pop. That you're seeing that capital roll over from the leading coins into these secondary coins. EOS, prime example. Ethereum now up 11%. XRP now up 12%. You're seeing a little bit of capital flow. So more capital's coming in. This is good. This means we definitely could sustain this. Dash holding relatively well up here. A little bit of distribution, but they're eating it up so far, which is good. Classic up a little bit. So yeah, this is good for sustainability. This is very good. Very, very good. Sustain this rally. So ETH and EOS showing us that right there. Litecoin, Bitcoin continuing with going down the top percentages of the BTC pairs. And the spreadsheet coins are all BTC pairs. That's what I consider spreadsheet coins. Litecoin doing pretty good here. Beam. Next. Zcash. We know this one already pulling off a little bit right there. Yes, Wave, a shift of trend is happening. It does appear that way. Yes. We were loosely shifting trend last week and the week before. Well, actually, Bitcoin would show it to us, actually. So, yeah, last week. So this we were shifting trend. So this is our change in trend. This is a channel in Bitcoin, and we are changing trend. Whether it leads us into we could go into a choppy situation, or we could go straight into a bullish situation. You don't know. you can't know. Sorry. Sorry, you just can't know. Like I say in my public videos, one leg at a time while keeping the market cycle in mind. You get one leg. You get, if you're lucky, you can see, if you're lucky, you can see a couple ahead. But those are very rare times, during very extreme situations. So, yeah, this is a change of behavior, which is a change in trend at the trend line. Exactly, change in trend. Could stall up here at the 200 period moving average, and then kind of go, yeah, maybe yearly low was the third monkey Tron. Yep, we discovered it, we talked about it, and yep, there it is right there. Could be the yearly low, very early in the year. Could be. But again, we still got January to go. If we do put in a high, and then if we put in a topping candle, like a crazy topping candle, or just really start to kill a trend, it's going to suck. But so far, so good. Well, that's all you get. All you get is real talk. That's all you get. Okay, so keep going here. So DGD, XRP with a little bit of a bounce right there. Gas, yeah. Back into the normies down here. Okay, so let's get to some of your questions here. Now, that's pretty much that's what we do in the Power Hour, guys. So, hey, if you're still with me, thanks for, I'm going to answer your questions, but I want to kind of talk about what we do in the show. If you like what we've done, $65 a month. We're here 7 days a week. You get, we have the newsletter. We go over the newsletter in the Power Hour. Answer pretty much any question. We've done 2-hour Power Hours. We've done 3-hour Power Hours. I really don't put a cap on it. I don't just cut it off at an hour. The Power Hour is really what you guys want it to be. It really is. Our routine is going through the top 20 USD coins, and then we go through the spreadsheet coins. We sometimes go through top 20 BTC pairs. And we go like we did here with percentages on certain days. We'll do that. So some days I go through the entire spreadsheet list, which is 150 plus coins, all on Binance, basically. And yeah, if you guys have problems, if you guys have FOMO, have FUD, if you want a mentor, we do all of that in the show. But it's up to you guys. You guys do have to ask me a question. I don't know what stage of development you guys are in with your trading. So and mentoring Monkeytron. Monkeytron's a member of the Power Hour. If you guys have questions, ask them. I'm not going to make fun of you. I may yell at you a little bit, but that's just because sometimes you need it, man. If someone's making the same mistake over and over again, you can't do that. And I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. I don't. So anyways, if you guys are interested in that, try it out for a month. If you don't like it, cancel. Cancel. I don't care. So anyway, real-crypto.com. You can go to services. It's right there. $65 a month for the Power Hour. If you guys want to do that, I would appreciate it. It's always good to get new members into the community. Keeps us fresh and keeps everything on an even keel. Teaching new people is fantastic because we all got to relearn the basics. Sometimes I have to check myself and teach the basics, and sometimes it's easier if someone that is kind of new to the trading space. It's really good to have you guys in there to, you're not a burden. Some people say, "Oh, I don't want to take up chat." Dude, you can't think like that. Chat is there for you. Chat is yours. It's not mine. You're not taking up anyone's time. We've been doing this a long time now, and we've never had one person make fun of another trader for a trade, ever. It's never going to happen. And if it happens, that person will have a stern talking to. It's not the environment that we set up. Okay, let's get to some questions here. Let's check it out. I know I missed a couple. Leverage trade BTC. BTC about to jump out of the cloud on the 1 daily chart. That's good. When did capitulation happen, or it did not? Why no capitulation? Hamant, you never get to know. You never get to know. Trading is kind of like a non-fact based thing. I kind of hate to say it that way, but trading is almost an enigma. You have to trust what happens, but you have to trust that you'll never know why. Why did this bottom happen? I don't know. Why did this bottom happen? I don't know. Why did this break out? I don't know. Why did this happen? I don't know. I just know it did. And I know that my job is to listen to it. My job is to listen to it. Can I be your dad? Absolutely, I can be your dad. Come on over. We'll have dinner tonight. Thanks for your rant, Randy. They call it a Randy rant. The most painful thing is I know there comes a retrace, but with a pump, I always think this might be the bull run. It may be the bull run. You never know. You never know. The only thing you can do is learn from your mistakes. That's the only thing you can do. That's all I can say. If normally what I would say is, okay, give me a trade that you did recently, or we say, okay, give me a trade. Give me your last trade. Where was your entry? What were you thinking? What was your exit? What were you doing? I'll do the journaling with you, right? If you're in a situation where if you're in a bad spot and you don't know how you got there, you have to revisit it. You can't just do the next thing because you're going to do the same thing. If you don't do a post-mortem analysis, you have to do it. I do it. See, I'm a little weird though. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I don't do a tremendous amount of post-mortem. I do very quick post-mortem analysis, like very, very live post-mortem analysis. Maybe twice a year, I will go through my trades and actually look at them. And I do my post-mortem analysis very quickly, very, very quickly, usually after the trade, and it's very apparent, and then I'll make an adjustment. But it's hard in real time when things are rallying tremendously and you're not involved and you get stopped out or you sold arbitrarily. It is very difficult, and sometimes the best thing to do is to walk away. Just literally leave. Just close the computer down, walk away, take a drive. I go get food because I like food. Go get food. Go do something else. Leave the computer. Don't trade. Don't be on the screen. That's what's going to help you the most in a lot of circumstances, is to just getting away. That's the best therapy. You know what I mean? So sometimes that's what you have to do. Even if it hurts, even if you're down $25,000, even if you got $2,000 left, really the best thing you can do is, I don't know, you have to, if you want something, you have to know how to get it. One thing I didn't say earlier, which I kept thinking about, but thoughts kept coming in my head. You can't trade, and I did say it a little bit, you can't trade with that 30 grand. If you got 30 grand, you can't trade with 30 grand to start with. I know it's too late for you, but maybe it's not too late for someone else. If someone else is out there, and let's say you're that someone and you are down, let's say you have 20 grand and you're down 10 grand, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, you're not getting the 10 grand back. You're not going to. I'm just going to let you know. You're not going to get it. It's gone. You now have $10,000. Now the question is, what do you do with $10,000? What you do with $10,000 is you trade with $500 is what you do. Because the next time you lose, you're only going to lose $500. Okay? You're going to have almost the same lesson, like 95% of the same lesson trading with $500 than with that $10,000. Once you're successful with that $500, you can start to scale up with more of that $10,000. But you can't jump in with 10 grand to start with. You have to jump in with much less, much less. If you go into business for yourself and you take out a $250,000 loan, you leave yourself buffer room. You say, okay, I'm going to leave myself this much. You're going to spend more. If you take a loan out for $250,000, you're not going to spend $10,000. You're going to spend $200,000, but you're going to keep 50 of it. You have to have a runway. And when you trade with your entire stack, you have no runway. Your runway is the money you're not trading with in a lot of circumstances. And when you're starting out, that's the definition of your runway. So, first month free. I don't do a first month free. It's a month-to-month subscription. I don't tie people into contracts or anything like that. So it's a very honest system. I'm not gimmicky. I've never done a sale. I've raised the price once. Don't think I'll raise it again. I think 65 is pretty good. I'll give you. This is a show. It's a free show. If someone emails me, I'll usually give them a free show. But you guys have already had one, basically. So, yeah, pretty good. Litecoin, EOS, BSV, pretty good. Yeah, 30 hours. Yeah, when you look at it hourly, it's pretty good basis. And then I think the alert system's undervalued, to be honest with you. I really think the alert system's undervalued. People don't, people pay, they'll go out and they'll buy these signal groups for 20, 30, 40 bucks a month. This is a signal group. You get signals and I update them every single day, and I go over 150 coins every day, I don't know. It's good value. I think it is. And everyone thank Paul. Everyone say thank you, Paul. He basically wrote 100% of the alert system for us, so cannot forget that. Of course you do, Paul. I do not use Ichimoku Cloud. I'm not a hater of it. I never really, where is it at? I think I can add it somewhere on here. I don't ever really do that. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't used it. A lot of those. So this is, I'm not super versed in it. It feels like Bollinger Bands a little bit to me here. But no, I don't use it. I'm pretty much a price action volume trader. That's what I do. That's it. That's pretty much what I do. I do price action volume. I have a couple of indicators that I usually lose every once in a while. But that's about it. I really keep it very simple. I don't add too much to my charts. I'm familiar with a lot of other trading styles, but I haven't gotten into Ichimoku Cloud. No, I have not. I just had it. I just deleted it. Can I bring it back? I can bring it back. Look. Oh, I am on the daily chart. There we go. Yeah, I just broke out like mad. Yeah. Let me get back to some questions here. I think I may have skipped a few. I kind of went on another little rant. Estimation of the Bitcoin pump before a pullback? Maybe. Oh, Digibyte. Suresh asked for Digibyte. Someone else asked for something else. Sorry, let me get to it. I hope you're still here. It was BQX, wasn't it? I think it was BQX. Yeah, there's BQX. Yeah, we were on top of BQX. We actually liked this one. We had an alert level. I think it was here, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, right now it's pulled all the way back down to the breakout point. Loosely may find support here at the 200 period moving average. So I run a 2-hour chart, and for whatever reason, this 200 period moving average on my 2-hour chart is a very good indicator of trend in a lot of circumstances. So you'll hear me talk about that a lot. Support of the 200 here, maybe finding it here. You could try to buy this on a trend line break. I'm also a huge fan of trend lines. I do a tremendous amount with trend lines. I thought about doing a webinar on trend lines, actually. So anyway, right here, you could buy on a trend line break. Other than that, if BQX fails the 200, I would say it's probably likely not gonna rebound. Best case scenario, if that does happen, is a bounce here at that prior low at about 294. But I don't know. I don't think if it gets down that far, it's probably not going to come back. But BQX had a beautiful first pump, good volume. I mean, look at this, no volume, and then kaboom, tons of volume. So we followed it after that and had it on the run up here. Had a good run, had a beautiful run. You're not going to get mad at a 25% run. And anyway, and then on the pullback here, obviously taking profits, but you can probably try to buy it back. Not my favorite, but not too bad either. How would you act if you don't have a position in Bitcoin now? Would you jump in on a breakout since we clearly broke resistance on the ascending triangle? Wave Rider asking. So I don't know if I would jump in immediately right now, to be honest with you. Oh, back on Dash. There we go. Oh, do we just have a pullback? Oh, you have to buy pullbacks. Yeah, you can buy breakouts, but you really have to buy pullbacks at this stage of the game. Bitcoin just broke out of a cup and handle pattern. So we had two. I think our alert was actually 82.93. We didn't have 82.08, but so it's up about 5%. If this were a normal stock, this is the end of your buy range. You could still buy this here from a traditional stock perspective. Cup and handle breakout is good. The volume is good. This is still loosely in a buyable area, but it's exiting a buyable position. You could still buy it, but again, you do have a bit of a risk of a retrace here. Let's get these out of the way. A bit of a risk of a retrace. Aggregation tool's nice. Very nice right there. The market looks like it's continuing, so yeah, you can probably take a small position. Usually if you're, hold on a second, water break. Okay, I'm back. If you get in this high, I would level into a position. I wouldn't just jump all in on a full position up here. I would start to level in. If it starts to pull back, then you can kind of buy a little bit. But usually up here you'd be looking for some topping candles. But so far Bitcoin with higher lows appears to just be rallying, declining volume in this little consolidation. So we're looking really good. I would say it's probably buyable. Again, with that 5% rule taken, being what it is, you're just above there right now. You can take entry positions. If it starts to rally again, you can try a little more, and then if it starts to fail on you, you're going to have to manage the position a little harder if you didn't get in at lower levels. That's the downfall to buying extended up here, obviously. So following up on your video from 2 weeks ago, do you think we put in the low for the year or the high? Good question, Batman. So far, I mean, this is very bullish. It's looking like, I'm thinking low. We've been looking for a turnaround in the market on Bitcoin now for a while. If you remember, I had a video back here about this inverted head and shoulders, thinking maybe that was the low here, and we went on to go sideways for a month plus, for a month and a half. Made a very slightly lower low to the tune of, $100. And then now we're finally breaking out. So we could be completely changing cycles here. That's my thesis at this stage of the game, is we're out of this bearish trend for the prior 6 months. We're moving into a different market cycle. This is a turnaround area right here, which is why it was so choppy garbage, type of a situation. And then this broader inverted head and shoulders neckline breakout can follow through looking good. So no, I think we put in a low. And like I said when I made that video about the low and high of the year, that is subject to change at any time. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and that definitely goes for, we're always going to put the low in the first week of the year. Excuse me. It doesn't always work out that way. In fact, it very rarely continues forever. But Bitcoin's a repeat machine, and just coming out of a 6-month downtrend, I would likely say it's the low of the year. So we may have nailed that on the head. Yeah, so I think I addressed that one way right. I would do small positions on smaller term breakouts is what I would do. Smaller positions on smaller term breakouts, and you can level into a full position as long as it on these smaller term time frames appears that it's going to continue the rally. Right now it looks like we're going to start breaking out again. I'm keeping an eye on making sure Dash isn't going to fall apart. I'm pretty Dash heavy right now. BSV going crazy. Do an estimation of the Bitcoin pump before a pullback. That's really hard to do, Sanders. I'm not a big fan of targets. I really just kind of watch price action, to be honest with you. I don't really have a great answer to that one. Just keeping it real with you. I mean, people are going to throw numbers at you all day long, but they're worth what you pay for them, which is nothing. So, I mean, obviously this target up here could be a potential opportunity. If you're looking to short a high, maybe looking for this type of a drop down situation. Again, I think you're looking at price action. You're looking at things. People that arbitrarily pick levels, guess what? 50% of the time they're going to be right. 50% of the time they're going to be wrong. That's why I think price action rules, and I've done very well. Oh my gosh. like some of these exits we get talking about during the show are ridiculous. Some of the exits are like just trend line breaks. You know what I mean? Just simple trend line breaks. They're not secrets. You know what I mean? They're not secrets at all. Like if you were to take that as a trend line break, that's a great exit. That's a fantastic exit, and then you can, reload it another time. But that's just a small example. But I mean, I don't really do targets, to be honest with you. I do point out possibility. I call them possibilities. I don't call them targets. I could probably get a lot more people to like me if I called them targets and tried to sound like I was freaking smart, like most people do. But that's not me. Let's see what else we got here. Shift of trend, yes, I think it is. XTB trading platform, know nothing about it, nor do I really care at this point, to be honest with you. Do not use Ichimoku Cloud. QOXT? What's OXT? I don't know about that one. I don't think I have that one. What is this? I don't know what this is. My short answer here is no. Although I do like this, the general flattening out of this pattern here. That is good. Usually what I'll do in these situations is I'll look for, I don't think this is fully formed a bottom yet. Doesn't appear to have done so, but I'll usually find some kind of a high and try to find a horizontal level of resistance. Usually they go on maybe loosely right there, but there's nothing definitive right now. You just have to wait on this one. Has anything changed in general price action since October or even January last year? General price action. I'm assuming you're referring to Bitcoin since you're not mentioning a coin. October or January. If yes, what is it in your opinion? There's a very slight change. I mean it's very, very slight. So when you're looking at price action, I'll look at a couple of things. One thing I'll look for, I'm actually going to write this down because I have a feeling I should write this down because I usually don't say what I look for in price action. One thing I look for big volume, always. Big volume is the footsteps of the giants, and the giants move the market, and so you have to look for them. You have to look for, is there big volume? What is the scale of the big volume in comparison to prior big volume? So in other words, relationally, how big volume is this volume? Is this big volume? I would say no. It's not big volume. The scale is smaller. So from this perspective, haven't necessarily had a major volume trend shift yet. We don't have major large volume candles. Something that is different, though, mentioning from October. Hold on a second. I'm getting a phone call I got to take. Hold on. Damn it, they fooled me again. Stupid spam call. Okay, so the scale, how is it relative to big volumes? How is it relative to recent volume action? So you mentioned October, November, so I'm also looking over here a little bit before that. Like we had an extension to the downside here, right? And then something to notice is that we start to elevate from price-wise off of this. We have a little gap right here, okay? Tron going nuts up, 15%. There you go. Dash 25. Beautiful. Really pissed I can't get BSV. I'd be up 100% right now. That's freaking BS. I would have bought BSV back in that early alert level. Stupid everything. Okay. So I look for big volume. Look for the scale of the big volume. I look for how many big volume candles are there. And even a layer deeper than that, what are the scales of those big volume candles? So what you're noticing here is the difference is we're having more larger green candles. They're not huge green candles, but they're bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 bigger green candles here since late October. Since this pump right here, since the big pump, the big fake out at the high. That's a change. Okay, and also over here the frequency of green candles is a bit of a change as well, especially right here. Now, one thing that's a little bit not changey is the average volume line. This average volume in orange is fairly steady. So we're not even seeing a slight increase. So that's hopefully will change with this. Ideally, over the next week or two, we'll see a change in the average volume line, which by then it will be very clear that a change in trend is taking shape, and the prices will be much higher than they are today. So, yeah. Like I said earlier, guys, if you guys aren't paying attention to the charts and aren't noticing these reversals generally, one thing that I do really well is I can, and you guys should learn to do this, is when you go through all the coins, I don't know what your daily routine is, but you should have one. When you go through the coins, you need to assimilate a picture in your mind, not like a literal picture, but you need to assimilate everything into a picture of what the market is doing, where the money is going, what it's doing, and we've been talking about a shift change and a change in trend and everything getting a little more bullish and then bearish, and then so what would happen is we got bullish and then things would look scary and fall apart, and then what would happen is it would get bullish, scary, and fall apart a little bit, come right back really nice, and then they started basing. And that's what we looked at much earlier today is all that basing. So, and now we have these breakouts. And Bitcoin Cash, just freaking crazy ass volume right there. Crazy volume. Could be a topping candle for Bitcoin Cash. I think we talked about that. All right, guys. That's it. That's all I got. Any more questions, comments, concerns? I'm going to get out of here. Didn't have breakfast, so I'm starving. I'm going to go get some food. Market's looking great. EOS 27%. Damn, really extending out of that. That I was not expecting from EOS. But again, you're seeing things move into these other coins, which is good, which is very, very good. Ethereum Classic, everything's up like 20% today. So this is good. Super good. Litecoin doing good. ETH finally catching up too, but still a little bit behind some of the other alts. BSV 93 holding great. All right, guys. Well, thanks, Wave Rider. Thanks to everyone else. Hope you guys consider joining the Power Hour. Can't say I'll be doing a lot of live streams like this. Like I said, developing an application right now that's really taking me away. I think you guys will really like it when it comes out too. Unlike anything out there, I'm going to blow everything out the water, and it's a phenomenal trading tool. It has like 5 different unique themes and things, so it'll be fantastic. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me today. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.